2020 proper. He is the CEO of Clean Cooking Association of Kenya, Mr. David Maina. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And it's interesting because even as talking about you being a mechanical engineer, and then as your journey progressed, you realized, okay, fine, probably we need to look at renewable sources of energy. Let's take it even before that. What made you feel like, okay, fine, I think I want to become an engineer? Was it the pressure for you're either a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer once you've passed to KCSE? Is that how you ended up there?
I would say it's a combination of many forces.
Right.
And I think that is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But as a young person, I wanted to make a difference in society and to have influence. I've always wanted to make some impact on people's lives and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought engineering was the best way to provide solutions, and it was a good opportunity for me. So I decided to do that. Of course, I scored the right marks to to go to do engineering. And yeah, I ended up there. So also my parents had an influence, so they encouraged me to take up, because I was good at technical courses, physics, mathematics. That's how I ended up being an engineer.
Were there any other engineers in the family who are older than you that you are told, you should be like so-and-so? He scored well and became an engineer.
Actually, my family and I would say relatives and all that, the larger family, most of them are teachers.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that they in any way inspired me professional-wise to go into engineering. But one of the many, as I talked with my uncles, my aunties, they would always tell us as young people, you know, we have enough teachers in the family. Can we go into something else? We need lawyers, we need doctors, we need engineers. So that is how I would say somehow pushed out of the usual teaching that was a bit more prevalent. So I chose engineering.
And how was it, getting into engineering? And, in high school, it's all fun and games as you're doing your physics and your math. And then you land into first year and you realize, this is the big one. This is what I'd been trying to get my entire life. And it's quite the task. How was it for you?
I would say high school prepared me.
Where did you go to high school, by the way?
I went to Lenana School. And Lenana School then, a few things may have changed. I was working with entrepreneurs at the Innovation Center.
Right.
Climate Innovation Center. It's a very interesting place. You should go visit.
Right.
But so that is where I got introduced to the technologies of clean cooking and the fuels and the whole climate change arena. So that is where I would say the seed was planted.
Right.
So when I moved to CAM, I did mostly renewable energy projects and managing projects and also advocacy. CAM is quite well known with advocacy work, so that's where I learned how to do advocacy, to do research in policy, and it's a whole skill altogether. That is what I would say set me up for my current role at Clean Cooking Association of Kenya.
Right, and we'll be talking about that because I'm looking at your journey and it almost feels like out of university, from what you had experienced as an intern, you realize that you probably don't want to be a hardcore mechanical engineer. There's a whole different line of things you want to try and do. Why was that? Do you not see yourself at one point being head of engineering at a certain firm, or was it just events that led you in a different direction?
I think life can take you in different ways. I've seen engineers who are journalists.
Very true.
Yes. So sometimes you graduate and you realize and the opportunities that you come across sometimes take you very far from your training, and you learn new skills, and or sometimes they take you to a different part of your, within the same field. I would say I'm still, to some extent, very much in the engineering field, because renewable energy and all that has the technical aspect to it. But I've moved now from that to project management and advocacy, which is one of the key roles at CCAK. So I would say it's what life can throw many things at you.
Right.
You choose and you decide. So for me, I didn't, from very early on, and my mentors know this, I think in the 4th year, I already told one of my mentors, Professor Sparling from Strathmore University, that I think I am better off in management and all that than in hardcore engineering.
Right.
I also would say I visited a few factories, and my experience with hardcore engineering was not so inspiring.
Right.
You get a graduate who is poorly paid, and and you say, I mean, why should I study 5 years of engineering and end up like this? So, of course, there is a brighter side to it also, but I thought from very, I would say midway in the training, I realized that my line may not be very much at hardcore engineering.
Okay.
So I was better in management and all that. So that's why when the opportunity came, I decided to
follow that direction.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the opportunity that presented itself in terms of the Clean Cooking Association of Kenya. You're the CEO of this association. What really is it about? Because people hear clean cooking and they have all sorts of conjectures in their mind. What's the association really about?
So clean cooking, most people may think, I mean, cooking is just cooking. And we've been brought up, a lot of us have been brought up in the kitchen, I would call it that way. Because your parents or your mom was always in the kitchen cooking, and the smoke, and especially if you are brought up in the rural areas. But clean cooking needs to be taken to the next level, and that is what CCAK, or the Clean Cooking Association of Kenya, is trying to do, to promote a more healthier and environmental friendly way of cooking in terms of the technology that is used, the fuel that is used, because a lot of people out there, a lot of Kenyans out there are suffering because of the effects of using very poor or simple or traditional methods of cooking. And I haven't forgotten much of it, so I was impressed, or I impressed myself.
Because they usually say, they usually say, yes, you'll have an A in your Kiswahili paper, but you only know if you know Kiswahili until once you go to Mombasa.
Yes.
And you have to speak fluently for more than half an hour.
So here I'm demonstrating how, or what a modern jiko looks like, and how to use it and all that. This is one of the entrepreneurs that we work with at CCAK. Yeah.
So this is just showing them that it actually works, and this is how you can actually practically use clean cooking in your home, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. Right there.
I think we're in the same forum.
Okay, we'll move on to the next photo real quick. Let's talk about this.
Oh, this is my wife, Helen. This is our wedding a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah, so this is one of the milestones in life.
Right. And for a person who, like you said, with your type of job, at times it might get demanding when you're, leading such an association. How do you create the balance? Because I always like to talk to people who are in that space, because yes, she'll understand that you're busy, but she'll only understand to a certain point. Now you can't delegate this duty. You need to come and be a husband. How do you balance the two?
It's not easy, and I'm still learning how to balance it. So it takes time. They get to understand what you're doing, why you need sometimes to be away, because the job also involves a bit of traveling. It demands that sometimes you work. And sometimes not always the best thing, you have to do some work at home, and so you're not with the kids, and so I would say she's also learning to adapt to. Right.
Is she an engineer as well? Did you find her in the same space?
No, she's not an engineer.
What does she do?
She's a businesswoman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least from an entrepreneurial place, you get each other on that one.
Yes, because sometimes she also has to be away and busy doing other things, and I'm left to take care of the kids or to support her. So I would say you need someone who understands, and it's something you learn into. So I would say it's an experience that you both go through, and as long as there's an understanding and respect and the love is there, you manage.
Okay, fantastic. How many kids, by the way?
I have 2 kids, 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yes.
So I can imagine it's a handful. When you get home, it's a handful every single time.
Yes.
Fantastic stuff. I mean, that's where we're going to wind it as far as our conversation is concerned. But for some people who might want to get in touch with you, either to learn more about, clean cooking, renewable energy, or even mentorship, because you've been through quite a bit. We can see what's happening right now with the era of layoffs and corporate restructuring. People might need somebody who actually knows how it feels to have gone through that. Where can they reach out to you on social media? Where can they find you?
I'm on social media, mostly on Twitter, so you can get me at Dean Jugi. For CCAK, at Clean Cooking KE, you can ask your questions there. We have a social media team that will respond to you. On Facebook, Dean Jugi is my sign up, so you can always reach out to me on social media. I'm more on Twitter, I would say.
You're more responsive on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Mr. Maina.
Thank you.
Thank you
for inviting me.
A great 2020, even as we jump into this, because I'm sure there are big plans ahead as with that.
Thank you so much.
All the best with the family and the 2 boys.
Okay.
Fantastic stuff.
Okay.
Getting up close and personal with David Maina, who's the CEO of Clean Cooking Association of Kenya. And as even you get into the year proper, you might as well think about how you'll also change your renewable energy, not only for the environment, but also it makes perfect sense for your bottom line. If you're going to spend less in the long run, you're saving your pocket and you're saving the environment as well. It's a win-win. This is Up Close and Personal. Plenty more coming up, of course, after the break.